We'll look at number 14. Number 14 wants us to solve it by an augmented matrix, so let's just make it into one. It's in standard form, so it looks good from here. So we have 6, 4, 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, -4. I messed up almost there. -2, -3. So the first thing I'm going to do is write my identity matrix for my coefficients. Oops, make it a little bigger there. 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. Ooh, that could have been dicey. So the first thing I do is I look, is there an easy way for me to make my first column a 0, 1? It is. So I'm going to do a, you don't really have to do this, but I'm just going to do it just because it might make our lives easier. I'm going to swap row 1 with row 2, so that would give us this. 1, 2, 3, 4 at the top, then 6, 4, 5, 5, and then 5, -4, -2, -3. So we did our first goal, so our next goal is to make this into a 0. So the way we make that into a 0 is we need to multiply row 1 by the additive inverse, which is -6, and we add it to row 2, which means it ends at row 2. So it looks something like this. -6, -12, -18, -24, 6, 4, 5, 5, 5, -4, -2, -3. So our goal was to make this into a 0. And if we multiplied this by -6, it looks like our goal has come into a reality. So, -6 plus 6 gives us 0. -12 plus that gives us -8. Then from here, -18 plus 5, -13. -24 plus 5, -19. Then top row goes back to 1, 2, 3, 4, the original, because we didn't touch it after that, and then the bottom stays the same. 5, -4, -2, -3. Now that we got this to our 0, we go down that column, and we need to make that a 5 a 0, so we're doing the same thing as we did before. Instead of a 6, we need to make it a -5. So we multiply -5 by row 1, we add it to row 3, and we place it into row 3. That's our goal. 1, or -5, -10, -15, -20, because that's what we multiplied row 1 by. -5, 10, 15, 20. Then the middle stays the same, 0, -8, -13, -19. Then from here, 5, -4, -2, -3. So far, so good. So what we're going to do here is next we need to just rewrite it. Let's just do the combination first. -5 plus 5, 0. -10 minus 4, -14. -5 minus 2, -17. -20 minus that would be -23. So far, so good. And then, just like what we did before, row 1 becomes row 1 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then in the middle, we didn't do anything to it, so 0, -8, -13, -19. Since we got everything good, now we need to focus on that 1 in the center, which is that center value, the -8. How do we make that into a +1? So what we're going to do is we're going to divide everything by a -8. So row 2 by -1/8. So that means row 1 and 3 are going to stay the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the bottom stays the same. 0, -14, -17, -23. And then this becomes 0, 1, 13/8. And then 19/8. Alright, so far so good. So we just got our goal of this to a 1. So that means we need to move up or down. I'm just going to move up, just get that 0 done with. So we're going to focus on making that 2 gone. To make that 2 gone, we're going to multiply row 2 by -2, the additive inverse. So R2, -2 by R2 plus row 1. We place it into row 1. The way this will look, top stays the same. 1, 2, 3, and then a 4. And then in the middle, we multiply everything by 2, so it's 0, -2, 13/8 by 2, -2, so 1, then a 4, so that becomes -13/4, and then we multiply 19 over 8 times -2, that becomes a 1, becomes a 4, so then we get -19/4. Don't forget the 19. That's a 19. -19/4, and then the last row didn't change. 0, -14, -17, -23, and what we did is we multiplied by -2. Let me just make sure I didn't do anything wrong. 0, good, okay. And our goal here was to make this 2 into a 1, so let's put this into action now. 0 plus 1, 1, -2 plus that 0, -13/4 plus 3, make it a 4, make it a 2, so, or make it a 4 I mean, so this becomes -13 over 4 plus 12, so we get -1/4, good, so we get -1/4, and then we have -19 over 4 added to 4, make that a denominator 4, multiply the numerator by 4, get -19 plus 16 over 4, you get -3/4, so -3/4 is our next number, and then we just rewrite everything back to what it was. 0, 1, 13/8, 19/8, 0, -14, -17, -23. So we just got this 0, so now we got to get this 0 right here. So how do we make that into a 0? We multiply row 2 by 14, positive 14. 14 times row 2 plus row 3, place it into row 3. That's our goal. Top stays the same, 1, 0, -1/4, -3/4. So we're multiplying everything by 14 here. So let's keep that in mind. And that's to get this -14 gone. That's the whole point. So 14 times 0 is that, 14. And then we put that over there. Just keep focused. Let's do it over here now. So we're multiplying 14 by 13/8. So 14 times 13/8. They both share even number, so this becomes 7 times 13 over 4. I think that's a fair assessment because if you divide both of them by 2, you get a 7, and then that's a 4. Yep, and there's no more GCFs, so 7 times 13, you get 91. 91/4. And then from here, 19/8 by 14. 19/8 by 14. The same thing, both share an even number, so it becomes 19 times 7 divided by 4. 19 times 7 gives you, 19 times 7 gets you 133. 133 fourths. And you all add it to 0, negative 14, negative 17, negative 23. Moving up just a tad bit. We're not going to see this right here. I can always rewrite that, but I just want us to keep ourselves focused, okay? Alright, so in our identity, we can just write right here. Alright, so now we're adding these right here. So first thing was just, let's just do the adding first. 0 plus, because we're doing row 2 to row 3, 0, 0, and then we have right here 91 fourths minus 17 divided by 4, multiplied by 4, 17 times 4 gets you 68, so 91 minus 68 over 4. 91 minus 68 gets you 23 over 4. So 23 over 4 is what we have so far. And then here, we got to do again. 133 over 4 minus 23. Put a 4 here, multiply this by 4. So we do 133, or 23 times 4. So 92, 133 minus 92 gets you 41. So we get 41 over 4. All right, and then we just rewrite everything like we did before. So this becomes like what it was. 0, 1, 13 eighths, 19 eighths, 1, 0, negative 1 fourth, negative 3 fourths. And we just, this is our new identity, just because I had to move up the screen a little bit, just so we can keep the focus towards the center. So our next goal is the next column 1, so we need to make this 23 fourths into a 1. So the reciprocal would be multiply row 3 by 4 23rds. That would be our way to do it. So let's do that. So everything stays the same. 1, 0, negative 1 fourth, negative 3 quarters, 0, 1, 13 eighths, 19 eighths, and then 0, 0. That would become a 1, 100%. And then let's just double check our math right here on our kind of our scratch work. 41 over 4, and then 4 over 23, those cancel, so we just get 41 over 23, and that looks about right to me. Don't freak out, it is a fraction, but it is, I hate to say it, the correct answer. I think it is, at least, what I did originally. Alright, so next, we got our golden ticket, so now let's work up the column and make that into a 0. So how do we make that into a 0? We multiply row 3 by the additive inverse, which would be negative 13 eighths, plus row 2. We place it into row 2. So we'll just do that right here. 1, 0, negative 1 fourth, negative 3 fourths, 0, 1, 13 eighths, 19 eighths, 0, 0, negative 13 eighths, that becomes, and then let's see, 41 over 23, 13 eighths, let's see, 41 divided by 10, alright, so we'll just multiply these. 41 times 13 gets you 533, it's a 3, and 23 times 8 gets you 184. So that's what we multiplied by. Ugh, that's ugly. So let's combine them, see what happens, get from the get-go. Top stays the same, 1, 0, negative 1/4, negative 3/4. So then we add them 0, 1, 0. And then let's add these right here. I guess we could do that. 533 over 184 plus 19/8. All right, so do that. Oof. 533, 184. This is an ugly number. We'll make it work. 184. 23. Okay, we'll multiply this by 23. So 533, or what's this? 19 times 23 gets you 475. 33 plus 437 all over 184. 533 plus 437 gets you 970. Can you even see that? Yeah, let's just write it up here then. 970 over 184. We can simplify that. And what did I do wrong there? I know I did something wrong there. Oh, I feel like, multiply by a negative, and I never made that negative. I see it now. I just remember doing this, so, 533 negative, that had to have been a negative, good thing you see that's why I highlight, plus 437, gets you 96, That makes my life a little easier. Negative 96 over 184, they're both even. Divided by 2, you get negative 48. 184 divided by 2, 92. Divided by 2 again, get 46. Get 24. Do it one more time. Negative 12 over 23. That's the simplest it could be. So that's what we get, negative 12 over 23. And then this just becomes the original, 0, 0, 1, and then 41 over 23. Oh, that one little mistake could have cost me 16 or 20 minutes, whatever it took to do this with explaining. All right, last part. Let's get our last one, our identity 0 right here. So how do we make this negative 1/4 into a 0? We just multiply this by 1/4. So 1/4 row 3 plus row 1. 1, 0, negative 1/4. Negative 3/4. 0, 1, 0. Negative 12, 23. Then 0, 0, 1, 4th. So you multiply by 1/4. And then 41 times 23, or 41, and then 23 times 4 gets you 92. All right, we multiply those by it. Our goal is to get this, so we're adding it to that row. So from here, let's do this. That becomes a 1, that becomes a 0, that becomes a 0. And let's just show a little bit of the work. Guess we could do it right here. Just flip a page. All right, 41 over 92 minus 3 over 4. Let's just see if 4 goes into 92. 92 divided by 4, it does. So we'll multiply this by 23, this by 23. So 41 over 92. 3 times 23 minus 69. So 41 minus 69 gets us 28. Negative 28 over 92. Divide that by 2, you get negative 14. 92 divided by 2, 46. Negative 7 over 23, it looks like. Yeah. Then we got 0, 1, 0, negative 12, 23, 0, 0, 1/4, and then 41, 92. Well, if we want to write the answers right here, x equals negative 7 over 23, y equals negative 12 over 23, z equals, oh, that's not a 1/4 anymore, that's a 1. And that is a 41 over 23. Because we don't rewrite this, that's a bad mistake, 0, 0, 1, comma, 4, that should be a 41, 23. Because we rewrite what we did after we add the rows. Okay, good. And then z is 41 over 23. And if you want to coordinate, or just the coordinates, x, negative 12 over 23, then 41 over 23. Whew, there we go. It's a lot